And when Mary had said this, she turned around and she saw Jesus standing there, but she did not know that it was Jesus. And the risen Jesus said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping? Whom are you looking for?" And supposing him to be the gardener, Mary said to him, "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have laid him, and I will take him away." But the risen Jesus said to her, "Mary, Mary." She turned and she said to him in Hebrew, "Rabboni," which means teacher. And Jesus said to her, "Do not hold on to me, because I have not yet ascended to the Father, but go to my brothers and say to them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God." And so Mary Magdalene went and announced to the disciples, "I have seen the Lord." And she told them that he had said these things to her. And this is the gospel of Christ.
Praise to you.
So Mary turns in the story and she sees Jesus and she thinks him to be the gardener. And perhaps she's closer to the truth than she realizes, because Easter is about love, not about leaving the world, but it's about love and life breaking through quietly, personally, powerfully. The love of Jesus is there in the gardener, and the gardener expects to see the love of Jesus in Mary. So there are three words which I'd like to leave with you and with me this Easter time: beginning, belonging, becoming. And every day you and I are called to do those three things: to begin, to belong, and to become. Beginning. Remember that you are called by name. Mary hears one word from the risen Jesus: Mary, Mary. And she not only knows who he is, but she knows who she is, that she is unique and special and much loved. My father was a simple man. He was a piano tuner. He never had much money, never had any money really. And so in one way he had nothing, but in another way he had everything, because he had a family who loved him very much. And every morning he used to go off to work with his piano tuning bag and his trilby hat on, and just inside our front door there was a mirror. And he used to turn to the mirror, he used to take off his trilby hat, and he used to say, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" And he'd wait a second, then he'd say, "Arthur Brown," and then off he'd go. He'd put his hat on, out of the door, and he had affirmed himself. He remembered that he was important and he mattered. And maybe you should say the same thing every morning. When you look in the mirror to shave or to put your lipstick on, you should say, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" And then you should stop and you should say your name. And you should remember how unique and precious and special you are. That's the beginning, to always remember how much loved we are. That's the beginning. But then the second step is to know that we belong. Mary was sent back to the disciples, to her group who had known Jesus. And you need to remember, and I need to remember, that we matter. We belong to our special person, yes, to our families, yes, to our church family, and also to the human family. We begin by knowing we're important, and that we know that we're important because we belong. There's a story about a man who sat alone in a cafe every day, just alone. And one morning, someone came in and joined him at his table and said, "You don't have to sit on your own anymore. I'll come and sit with you." It was nothing dramatic, but somehow for that man it changed everything. So Easter says for you, you belong, you're precious, you belong to your family, to your precious person, you belong to your church family, you belong to your human family. Begin, belong, and then become. Become yourself at your best. So begin knowing how precious you are. Remember, you don't only matter, but you belong. And then you must try to become, and I must try to become, ourselves at our best. At the end of the service, we are called to go in peace, to love and serve the Lord. And we all say back, in the name of Christ, Amen. But maybe we should say, go in peace, to love and serve the Lord, and to become yourself at your best, alive with new life, ready for new beginnings, and determined to find new ways to spread the love of God. So today is the first day of the rest of our lives. Easter Day 2026, the first day for all of us of the rest of our lives. It is Easter Day. It is a day of new life, a day to remember that we must always remember that we begin with knowing how precious we are. We remember that we belong to our family, to the church, to the world, and we must keep becoming ourselves at our very best so that love may radiate out and through us every day of our life.